Yeti crab. In 2005, scientists exploring the hydrothermal vents of the South Pacific stumbled across a creature no one expected, a crab with long, silky white hairs covering its claws. Instantly nicknamed the Yeti crab, this species looked more like a Himalayan legend than a marine animal. Measuring about 15 centimeters, 6 inches, long, it's not large, but what makes it extraordinary are those furry arms. Those strange hairs, or setae, are coated with bacteria. Scientists believe the crab actually farms these microbes, either as food or as a way to detoxify poisonous minerals spewing from the vents. Imagine that, farming in the darkness, thousands of meters under the ocean, where sunlight never reaches. Even more alien is its lifestyle. The Yeti crab lives in one of the harshest places on Earth, volcanic vent fields where water can reach 400 degrees Celsius, 752 degrees Fahrenheit, just a few feet from near-freezing seawater. Instead of photosynthesis, life here thrives on chemosynthesis, using chemical energy from the vents. The Yeti crab is like a furry pioneer, surviving in a place that feels closer to another planet than Earth. Barreleye fish. Few animals look more extraterrestrial than the barreleye fish, discovered alive only in 2004 after decades of mystery. At first glance, it seems impossible. This small fish, just 15 centimeters, 6 inches long, has a transparent, fluid-filled head. Inside, two bright green, tube-shaped eyes float like glowing cylinders, rotating to look straight up through its skull. Why? In the pitch-black ocean at 600 to 800 meters depth, the barreleye positions itself beneath drifting jellyfish and plankton. Its upward-facing eyes peer through its own head, spotting silhouettes above. When prey appears, the eyes can rotate forward to aim at the catch. It's like a submarine with periscopes built directly into its skull. Even stranger, the fish's mouth faces forward, while its vision is essentially panoramic. Its head dome protects those delicate eyes from jellyfish stings and lets it absorb every flicker of bioluminescence in the dark. For decades, researchers only saw dead specimens with cloudy heads, until a few lucky deep-sea ROVs captured this alien beauty alive, drifting in ghostly silence. The barreleye isn't just another deep-sea fish, it's proof that evolution sometimes writes science fiction scripts. Dumbo octopus. Discovered at depths below 3,000 meters, and sometimes as far down as 7,000 meters, 23,000 feet, the Dumbo octopus is the deepest living known octopus on Earth. Instead of the spindly arms we picture on a typical octopus, its defining feature is a pair of ear-like fins protruding from its head. Those fins flap gracefully as it swims, earning its name after Disney's flying elephant. Unlike most cephalopods, the Dumbo octopus doesn't use ink. Down in the abyss, ink clouds wouldn't work. The water pressure is enormous, and predators are adapted to total darkness. Instead, it relies on stealth and softness. Measuring anywhere from 20 to 30 centimeters, 8 to 12 inches on average, though rare specimens have reached 1.8 meters, 6 feet. It drifts almost weightlessly, feeding on worms, amphipods, and tiny crustaceans it swallows whole. What really sets it apart is reproduction. Female Dumbo octopuses carry multiple eggs at different stages of development. At any time, she can release a fertilized egg, ready for life in the abyss, without waiting for a season. It's like a constant conveyor belt of new life, ensuring survival in a world where opportunities are scarce. Down here, fragility becomes power. The Dumbo octopus shows that sometimes the softest form is the most enduring. Snipe eel. With a body as thin as wire and a beak that looks stolen from a bird, the snipe eel is one of the strangest predators in the mid-ocean zone. Adults grow up to 1.5 meters, 5 feet long, but weigh barely 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, lighter than a baseball. Their jaws curve away from each other in an awkward crescent, lined with backward-facing teeth perfect for snagging drifting shrimp-like crustaceans. The snipe eel doesn't chase prey. Instead, it writhes and coils through the water like living thread, sweeping its beak in wide arcs to snag whatever brushes against it. Its spinal flexibility is so extreme that it can tie its body into loose knots, a trick that helps it swallow wriggling prey whole. Stranger still, adult males lose their ability to eat entirely. As they reach maturity, their jaws shrink, their stomachs degenerate, and their only function becomes reproduction. In other words, they starve for the sake of passing on their genes. Snipe eels may look fragile, but their strategy works. They inhabit oceans worldwide, proof that alien design has its own kind of efficiency. Vampire squid. The name literally translates to vampire squid from hell, coined in 1903 when scientists first dredged one up and couldn't believe what they saw. Despite the fearsome title, it's no predator at all. Living between 600 and 1,200 meters in oxygen-depleted zones, the vampire squid is built for survival in conditions that kill most animals outright. Its body rarely exceeds 30 centimeters, 12 inches, but it carries one of the largest relative eye sizes in the animal kingdom, 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch across, about the size of a cat's eyes in a body the length of your forearm. Those glowing blue-green orbs reflect even the faintest shimmer in the abyss. Instead of hunting, the vampire squid extends thin filaments, coated in mucus, to gather marine snow, a constant drizzle of dead plankton, fecal matter, and detritus falling from above. In a world where food is scarce, it thrives by feasting on leftovers. When threatened, it turns inside out, cloaking its body in webbed arms lined with spiny projections. At the same time, its bioluminescent tips flash and pulse, a light show meant to disorient predators. It's an organism adapted less for horror, more for endurance, proof that even the abyss rewards efficiency. Gulper eel. Few deep-sea creatures inspire more awe than the gulper eel. It's a long, ribbon-bodied fish, often 1 to 1.5 meters, 3 to 5 feet, but the jaw is the star. Its mouth is so enormous it can balloon like a pelican's pouch, stretching wider than the eel's entire body height. Unlike most predators that chase prey, gulper eels wait in the gloom. Their jaws can suddenly expand, gulping in huge volumes of water along with unlucky fish, squid, or even prey nearly as large as themselves. Digestive enzymes then do the rest. It's a strategy suited to a world where meals may be weeks apart. Better to eat too much than not enough. What makes them even stranger is their tail. At the end of that long whip-like body sits a glowing pinkish lure, sometimes tipped with bioluminescent organs that flash red, an unusual color in the deep since most abyssal animals can't see red light. It's a secret beacon, visible only to select eyes. First described in 1847, gulper eels remain rarely observed alive. Most of what we know comes from trawl nets. To see one drifting, mouth agape like a floating trap, is to glimpse a monster evolution sculpted with impossible precision. Glass squid. There are over 60 known species in the glass squid family, and nearly all of them share the same ghostly trick, near total transparency. Most measure between 10 and 30 centimeters, though the colossal species Cranchia scabra can stretch beyond 3 meters, 10 feet. In life, they're almost invisible except for two things: a cigar-shaped digestive gland, floating like a shadow inside their body, and their oversized eyes. This transparency is more than a party trick. It's camouflage in a habitat where hiding places don't exist. By letting light pass straight through, glass squids become nearly undetectable to predators searching with bioluminescence. Many even carry light-producing organs called photophores on their undersides, which match the dim glow from the surface above, erasing their silhouette from below. It's called counter-illumination, and it's one of the cleverest survival strategies in the ocean. juveniles take hiding to extremes. They float upside down with their stomach above their head, making their most visible part look like just another drifting particle. Some species can even regulate buoyancy by filling an internal chamber with ammonium ions, lighter than seawater. Instead of swimming hard, they hover effortlessly, like balloons in the abyss. Ghost-like, weightless, and armed with invisibility, the glass squid might be one of the closest things we have to a real-life alien stealth ship. Dragonfish. Across the world's oceans, from 200 to 2,000 meters deep, dragonfish prowl in the darkness, with a body plan straight from horror. They rarely grow longer than 15 to 20 centimeters, 6 to 8 inches, yet they carry fangs longer than their own heads, needle teeth so thin they're invisible in water, an adaptation that makes them nearly impossible for prey to spot before it's too late. Many species in this family possess a luminous barbel dangling from their chin. The light is produced by symbiotic bacteria inside a photophore, glowing like a lure to draw in unsuspecting fish. In some dragonfish, the light can flash on and off or change intensity, like a dimmer switch designed for murder. What makes them even stranger is their ability to see red light. Most deep-sea creatures are blind to red wavelengths, which is why bioluminescence is usually blue or green. Dragonfish, however, generate and detect far-red bioluminescence. To their prey, the light is invisible, but to the dragonfish, it's like shining a private flashlight in the dark. Sexual dimorphism here is brutal. In some species, females grow large and fearsome, while males remain tiny, living short lives devoted almost entirely to reproduction. Predators, tricksters, and spies all in one. Dragonfish prove that in the deep sea, size doesn't determine dominance. Tripod fish, down at depths of 1,200 to 4,700 meters, 4,000 to 15,400 feet, where the seafloor is covered in fine sediment and the water is as still as space, lives a fish that doesn't swim like the others. The tripod fish plants itself upright, balanced on 3 elongated fin rays that act like stilts, each one extending up to 1 meter, 3.3 feet, long. Its actual body? Barely 30 centimeters, 12 inches, in length. The rest is scaffolding. Those bizarre fins aren't decorative. By bracing itself on the seafloor, the tripod fish waits motionless in the current, letting plankton and tiny crustaceans drift right into its reach. Its fins even serve as sensory tools, detecting subtle vibrations like built-in antennae. It rarely wastes energy, which is critical in a world where meals might be few and far between. Perhaps the most alien fact: tripod fish are hermaphrodites. If they can't find a mate, they self-fertilize. That's a fail-safe system evolution wrote specifically for a solitary life in the void. Between its spindly body plan and its independence from traditional reproduction, the tripod fish is less like a vertebrate and more like some deep-sea machine fine-tuned for survival. Faceless cusk eel. This creature was so elusive that it vanished from human knowledge for over a century. First collected by the HMS Challenger expedition in the 1870s, it wasn't seen again until 2017, when an Australian research team dredged one from nearly 4,000 meters, 13,100 feet, deep. The rediscovery stunned scientists. It looked like something that had never been meant to resurface. The faceless cusk eel has no visible eyes, no mouth apparent at first glance, and no recognizable face. Its skin is smooth, pale, and gelatinous, blending with the blackness of the ocean. The mouth actually opens from beneath the body, hidden away as though it didn't belong. In its world, sight isn't useful, so evolution erased it. Touch and vibration sensing replaced vision, allowing it to navigate and feed without light. Despite its name, it isn't rare in the abyss, just rarely seen alive. They likely drift quietly along the deep sea floor, eating worms and other invertebrates, unseen and unchanged for millennia. To stare at a faceless cusk eel is to realize how alien Earth can get without leaving the planet. Deep-sea hatchetfish. At first glance, it looks metallic, almost artificial, but this small predator is very real. Most species measure only 3 to 12 centimeters long, yet their thin, flattened bodies gleam like steel blades, reflecting any hint of light. Those mirror-like scales act as camouflage, scattering light to make the fish nearly invisible in the midwater zone, 200 to 1,000 meters deep. Their bulging, upward-facing eyes are just as important. They allow the fish to scan the surface above, picking out faint silhouettes of prey drifting overhead. In a realm where sunlight barely penetrates, even a shadow can mean dinner. But the real alien trick is hidden underneath. Rows of bioluminescent photophores line the belly, glowing in patterns the fish can control. By matching the faint light filtering down from above, they erase their outline in a process known as counter-illumination. Hatchetfish aren't solitary oddities. They're part of nightly vertical migrations, rising hundreds of meters under cover of darkness to feed, then sinking back down before dawn. These journeys make them one of the most numerous mid-ocean predators, an army of tiny flying knives that blur the line between animal and machine. Anglerfish. Few deep-sea creatures have captured imagination like the anglerfish. Found at depths past 2,000 meters, 6,600 feet, females grow up to 1.2 meters, 4 feet, with gaping jaws and needle-like teeth that can fold inward to trap prey. But the most iconic feature is the bioluminescent lure dangling from their forehead, powered by colonies of symbiotic bacteria. This glowing bait flickers in the blackness, drawing in victims like moths to a flame. Their biology is just as bizarre as their looks. In some species, males are tiny, barely the size of a thumb. When he finds a female, he bites into her skin, fuses blood vessels, and eventually becomes a permanent parasite, providing sperm in exchange for survival. Some females carry half a dozen fused males, each reduced to little more than gonads. Anglerfish are perfectly adapted for scarcity. Their stomachs can expand to swallow prey twice their size, their jaws unhinge like a snake's, and their dark, gelatinous flesh saves energy in a world where food can be weeks apart. Every adaptation feels impossible until you realize, in the deepest, darkest ocean, monsters are the only survivors. Thanks for staying with us on this deep-sea adventure. If you enjoyed it, hit subscribe and give it a like. There are more strange, wonderful creatures waiting in the next video. Come explore with us.